This is your news source evening bulletin for today, Monday, the 11th day of December in the year 2023. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here's what we're tracking tonight. President Irfan Ali has accepted an invitation from CARICOM and CELAC to meet with Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro in St. Vincent and the Grenadines on Thursday. And ahead of that meeting with the Venezuelan president, President Ali has stated that while he will be going into the meeting with President Maduro with an open mind, he has made it very clear that there will be no negotiation or compromise on Guyana's Essequibo region. And there will be no negotiation or compromise either on Guyana's case before the International Court of Justice on the border controversy.
There's absolutely no wavering from this position. And I want to make it very clear that this is not a Guyanese position. This is a position from the Geneva Agreement. This is a position in which the United Nations Secretary General ascribed the settlement of this case to the ICJ. So this is a position that all of us have to respect.
The meeting between the two presidents was brokered between leaders from CELAC and CARICOM, and it aims to quell the current tension between the two states, which has been taking place over the past couple of weeks and fueled by Venezuela's aggression. Speaking to reporters last evening, President Ali said he will not be budging from Guyana's long-held position that a border dispute was settled since 1899 and the Essequibo belongs to Guyana.
The 1899 settled where Essequibo belongs, and it belongs squarely, firmly in the geographic space of Guyana. That's the first thing I will say. The second thing is that the Geneva Agreement provided for the UN Secretary General to appoint a place where there's controversy should be settled. He has appointed the ICJ, and that is where we should respect, and that is where it shall be settled.
Asked why he thought it necessary to still meet with Mr. Maduro when there will be no negotiations, the president said he has no issue with having dialogue in the interest of the region. He stressed that for there to be a peaceful coexistence, there must be dialogue.
We don't live in a region by ourselves. We have respect for our bilateral partners, our regional partners. We have made it very clear our position. We are a peaceful country. Our only ambition is to secure and protect what belongs to us. And we have absolutely no difficulty meeting with any of our neighbors to ensure that we continue to talk about development. We continue to work as neighbors, coexist as neighbors, to work to ensure that this region remains a region of peace.
President Ali also said he has already outlined to regional partners where the country stands in relation to the controversy, and there will be no budging from that position. On Friday last, CARICOM heads of government held an emergency virtual meeting on the Guyana-Venezuela border controversy. In a statement after the meeting, CARICOM reaffirmed its support for Guyana, but also called for a de-escalation of the conflict and for appropriate dialogue between the leaders of Venezuela and Guyana to ensure peaceful coexistence, the application and respect for international law, and the avoidance of the use or threat of force. Guyana has always maintained that there has only been one side issuing threats and escalating the conflict, and that side is Venezuela. More news coming up in just a moment.
'Twas the start of GTT Christmas, and all through the land, not a smartphone was silent, all buzzing in hand. The stockings were hung by the modem with care, in hopes that GTT prizes would soon be here. They say top up a grand or activate a data plan, and just find the letters to GTT Xmas in the land. Plus, pay your bills on time, don't be a Grinch, and you could be a winner of the GTT Mega Million.
Oh my lord! I just love to shop in this store. My customers, them gonna love all these things. So many different things in one place. Household items, electronics, toys, stationery, confectionery, exercise equipment, shoes and clothes for men, women and children, school things, costume, jewelry, perfume, makeup. Oh, look the makeup!
Giftland Office Max, Guyana's favorite department store. It's your time to win big. The Massey Stores Christmas Jackpot promotion is back and bigger than before. Spend $5,000 at any Massey Stores to be the lucky winner of a brand new MGZS and fantastic weekly store prizes from now until January 31st, 2024. What are you waiting for? Head to your nearest Massey Stores to shop now. See our Facebook and Instagram pages for more details. Massey Stores, our family serving your family.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Bust the flavors. We're full of flavors. Bust the flavors that me crave for. We're full of flavors. Tell your neighbors about the bust the flavors. Grab a bust the flavors. Yeah, thirst buster. Grab a buster. Bust the flavor, taste the savor. Bust the flavors. Bust the flavors.
This evening, police investigators are on the scene at Durban Street and Cemetery Road here in Georgetown after a gunman opened fire on a vehicle just as popular journalist Travis Chase was stepping out of that vehicle. Chase told news sources that he was forced to run for cover when the gunshots rang out. He said the gunman was riding a motorcycle and made good his escape after firing multiple shots. Chase said he did not notice anyone following him as he drove to the location to visit a relative. The incident took place just after 7 o'clock tonight. A full investigation is on the way.
Fine, I'm not getting about 25-30 minutes ago. I came here. Of course, everybody knows that this is where I practically live. I parked the car to run inside and get a list from my aunt. And I told the guy that operates the restaurant, I said, just watch your car for me, give me 2 minutes, I'm coming back. It's a routine thing. He knows that. As soon as I stepped out of the car, the gunman fired the car, and, well, a gunman on a motorbike. An off-duty policeman was across the road. He saw what was happening, he gave chase, but the man apparently escaped. But I'm not hurt, thank God.
3 years ago, a new vehicle owned by Travis Chase was maliciously set on fire in a government compound near the same Durban Street location where he parked it at night. There was never any arrest in that case. Seasoned Guyanese diplomat, former Secretary General of the Commonwealth, and Guyana's co-agent for the border case at the International Court, Sir Shudat Ramphal, has stated that all parties must be clear about the reason for the upcoming talks between President Irfan Ali and his Venezuelan counterpart, Nicolas Maduro, so as to not entertain false expectations. In a release this morning, Sir Shudat said that CARICOM has been the most vocal and consistent supporter of Guyana with regard to the controversy, and the support was reinforced recently. He said the position of CARICOM that they firmly support Guyana in pursuance of the resolution of its border controversy with Venezuela through the process of the International Court of Justice and its commitment to the Caribbean as a zone of peace and the maintenance of international law, as well as the bloc's urging Venezuela to respect the conservatory measures determined by the ICJ in its recent ruling, are developments and statements that are worthy of noting. According to Sir Shudat, it is that context and with perfect awareness that again a Venezuela matter is under consideration by the International Court and that the court's proceedings cannot be compromised, that CARICOM heads have called for an appropriate dialogue between the leaders of Guyana and Venezuela to ensure peaceful coexistence, the application and respect for international law, and the avoidance of the use of threat or force. Mr. Ramphal reminded that there was no call for any discussion on the Venezuelan controversy over the Essequibo region of Guyana. He said it is within those parameters that Guyana's president has responded positively to the region's call for an appropriate dialogue with the Venezuelan president. He said Guyana has always urged Venezuela in the direction of peaceful coexistence. All Guyanese should bolster the president's efforts in that regard, Sir Shridat said. He said if President Maduro responds in a like manner, CARICOM's efforts will have the reward of deference to not only regional but international norms of peace and security. President Irfan Ali is set to meet with the Venezuelan president on Thursday in St. Vincent. In a statement over the weekend, the parliamentary opposition said it welcomes the action being taken by the international community to ensure there is peace between Guyana and Venezuela. But the opposition said it wishes to make it quite clear that they are not opposed to dialogue or discussions with the president of Venezuela, as that could lead to better relations between the governments and people of the two countries. The opposition, however, said it believes that a meeting should seek to ensure the two states recommence bilateral discussions, since they will open new vistas for good neighborliness and peace between the two states and the people of the two states. The opposition still believes there must be no discussion on the territorial controversy between the two countries, as the matter is properly before the International Court, and the process must be allowed to take its course so that it is settled within the confines of international law. The APNU-AFC opposition said it remains committed to playing its role in the ongoing relationship between Guyana and Venezuela, and will always work towards the protection of the territorial integrity and sovereignty of Guyana.
Linden, get ready. The grand finals is coming to your town. Come, let's celebrate with the world's #1 stout Guinness. It's the Guinness Sounds of Greatness final on Saturday, December 16th at the Mackenzie Bus Park, Linden. 16 DJs, 1 crown. Who will walk away with a title for $1.6 million in cash and prizes up for grabs. Hosted by DJ Frost, guest DJs, DJ Brutal, DJ Unruly, DJ Puffy, and Dynamic Sound. Time starts at 6 p.m. and competition starts at 7 p.m. Saturday, December 16th. Guinness Sounds of Greatness finals, Linden at the Mackenzie Bus Bar, celebrating Guinness through music.
Must be 18 plus to drink Guinness. Please enjoy Guinness responsibly.
Shop at John Lewis Styles in December and win 4 Honda Navi motorcycles. Beat the traffic with this sporty, hip and fun bike to ride. Fully automatic with no gears. Just twist the throttle and go. Enter to win with every $5,000 you spend on men's and women's clothing, footwear, watches, fragrances, handbags, luggage, and now our home goods department. So visit us on Waterloo Street for a chance to win 4 Honda Navi motorcycles. John Lewis Styles. Simply different.
Look at the breathtaking beauty of the Essequibo. From its pristine rivers to its abundant resources, it's a treasure that belongs to Guyana, and we ask Venezuela to respect the rule of international law.
Our commitment to this land is not just about ownership. It's about preserving its beauty and resources for our people and future generations.
The controversy between Guyana and Venezuela was settled internationally as full, perfect, and final in 1899. Essequibo belongs to Guyana.
Linden, get ready. The grand finals is coming to your town. Come, let's celebrate with the world's #1 stout Guinness. It's the Guinness Sounds of Greatness final on Saturday, December 16th at the Mackenzie Bus Park, Linden. 16 DJs, 1 crown. Who will walk away with a title for $1.6 million in cash and prizes up for grabs. Hosted by DJ Frost, guest DJs, DJ Brutal, DJ Unruly, DJ Puffy, and Dynamic Sound. Time starts at 6 p.m. and competition starts at 7 p.m. Saturday, December 16th. Guinness Sounds of Greatness finals, Linden at the Mackenzie Bus Bar, celebrating Guinness through music.
Must be 18 plus to drink Guinness. Please enjoy Guinness responsibly.
The Guyana Civil Aviation Authority and the Guyana Police Force are leading the investigations into the crash of that Guyana Defense Force Bell 412 helicopter, which claimed the lives of 5 servicemen last Wednesday. At the weekend press conference at GDF headquarters in Ghana on Saturday, Chief of Staff of the Guyana Defense Force, Brigadier Omar Khan, explained that the cause of the crash is still to be determined. He said he did not want to speculate on the reason behind the tragic incident, but would prefer to have the full investigation completed.
There is a phase now we are going into, which is the investigation phase. And that is outside of the remit of the Guyana Defense Force. We will now have the Guyana Civil Aviation Authority, along with the Guyana Police Force, will conduct their investigation. Because we are part of this operation, we will have to provide the information to those investigators. The process has already started. We have handed over a number of items to the Civil Aviation Authority, and the police also has commenced their investigation.
The helicopter crash claimed the lives of Brigadier Gary Beaton, Colonel Michael Shahul, Lieutenant Colonel Sean Welcome, Lieutenant Colonel Michael Charles, and Staff Sergeant Jason Kahn. 2 other servicemen, Lieutenant Andy Crawford and Corporal Dwayne Jackson, survived the crash. The 2 survivors, as well as the bodies of the 5 who died, were extracted from the crash site on Friday, 2 days after the incident. The 2 survivors remain hospitalized over the weekend with no life-threatening injuries, according to the Force Medical Officer, Lieutenant Colonel Dr. Nigel Langhorne.
Now, as it relates to the status of the survivors, from the inception, there was indication that they were in good general condition. However, upon further examination, namely at Georgetown Public Hospital, we were able to confirm their, what is actually going on with them, and I'm happy to report that there was no injury of significance as per se. They're all in good general condition.
Chief of Staff Brigadier Omar Khan said the 2 survivors will be fully debriefed by the investigators and will be expected to provide the information needed about the incident to assist with the probe. He also indicated that the Guyana Defense Force has already established a board of inquiry to conduct its own internal investigations. It was explained by the commander of the Air Corps, Lieutenant Colonel Mohindir Ramjag, that the flight data and voice recorder has been recovered and has already been handed over to the investigating team. Lieutenant Colonel Ramjag explained to reporters that when contact was lost with the helicopter on Wednesday morning, it was on its way to Arau from Olive Creek, where it had refueled.
Guyana, the Blue Arrows to Olive Creek, a distance of approximately 144 miles. The aircraft got here at 10:37. If you do the maths, that's a lapse time of approximately an hour and 13 minutes. The aircraft stopped here, refueled, and at 10:58 hours, departed Olive Creek for Arrow. Now, if you know there, the flight route or the intended flight route is shown in dashed yellow. That distance is approximately 58 miles. If you're familiar with the way pilots fly, the ideal route is direct routing. However, on this day, the pilot deviated to the right or to the north, and that could be for many reasons. Deviated, and whilst en route, contact was lost with the aircraft in the vicinity of the Blake Splinter aerodrome.
He said it was on a different flight path than the one that had been established for it to take, adding that there might be a number of reasons for a pilot to deviate from a planned flight path, including bad weather. Chief of Staff Brigadier Khan said the flight was on a mission to visit the border locations. Questioned about the fuel stop at Olive Creek and the origin of the fuel supply there, it was explained that the fuel is provided by a private supplier. News source understands that the fuel is brought from neighboring locations with Venezuela. The GDF said the fuel is usually tested for its quality. It is not suspected that there was an issue with the fuel, but the investigations are expected to cover all angles. The Chief of Staff said it is a tragedy to lose some of the finest men to serve in the military, but noted that the work of the GDF must continue in protecting the country and its people. While the 2 survivors recover and the probe into the fatal accident gets underway, the Guyana Defense Force has already started preparations with the family of the fallen servicemen to lay them to rest. President Irfan Ali last evening commissioned the Heroes Highway from Eccles to Great Diamond on the east bank of the Marara. The $13.3 billion highway honors the 5 servicemen who lost their lives in that helicopter crash while on duty last Wednesday. An emotional President Ali said the country has lost some of its finest men in uniform. And even on a personal note, he said he has lost some of his closest friends who dedicated their lives in service to the nation. The highway, which is expected to connect the east coast of the Marara to the east bank of the Marara, is dedicated to the life, work, and memories of the 5 servicemen, the president said.
This highway from Eccles to Diamond, because it connects to Diamond, is appropriately named the Heroes Highway. For all the men and women we lose in the line of duty henceforth, their names will accompany the path of this highway.
According to the president, the legacies of the fallen servicemen must be carried out, even as he acknowledged that the country's men and women in uniform are not often given the respect and recognition they deserve.
We will stand with you. We will stand by you, not in the short term, not in the medium term, but in the long term. You are part of the Guyana Defense Force family, and you will remain a part of the Guyana Defense Force family. There is no severing of the tie among you that bind you between the Guyana Defense Force. I want you to know this. There is no severing of that ties. It is stronger today as it was when they were alive.
The new highway is part of an interlink roadway that is expected to connect Berbice and the east coast of the Marara with the east bank of the Marara. The first part of the highway from Mandela to Eccles was commissioned last year. The project, which is being done in a number of phases by several contractors, is being spearheaded by the Ministry of Housing and Water. The driver of a Route 42 minibus and one of his passengers both lost their lives in a tragic Sunday morning accident at Friendship along the east bank of the Marara. The dead driver has been identified as Keon Edwards, while family members identified the dead passenger as Alvin Jones. Eyewitnesses reported that the minibus was being driven at a fast rate at around 8:30 on Sunday morning, when it appeared as though the driver lost control. The speeding bus slammed into the back of a car before flipping over several times, ending up on the side of the roadway. The driver and the other passengers were pitched from the minibus as a result of the impact of that collision. Both men were pronounced dead at the scene and are believed to have suffered multiple injuries. A number of other persons were rushed to the hospital. The police investigations are ongoing tonight.
Guyana's economy is rapidly transforming, and we're all part of it. Guyoil is at the forefront of this development by providing reliable and efficient energy and supporting community development from the very core. 100% of Guyoil's profit goes back to building schools, roads, and other important infrastructure that connects our cities and towns, providing fuel to domestic, marine, industrial, and aerial transportation. Guyoil has now repositioned itself as market leader in the petroleum industry, building a better future for all of us.
Food Max Supermarket, located on the ground floor at the Giftland Mall, is your one-stop shop for all your grocery needs. We stock a variety of imported frozen meat and food products, fresh produce, and pet supplies, freshly made bread. Rotisserie chicken and patties are also available daily. Shop in comfort today at Food Max and let our courteous staff assist you in satisfying your shopping needs. Food Max, the fresh food specialist.
It's one of your biggest goals, getting your own home, where memories are made, where happiness lives. You may feel that home ownership or renovation is beyond your reach, but we at Republic want you to know that there's always a way. Ask us about our suite of mortgages. Let's help make your housing wishes come true. Or advise on how the equity in your existing home can finance other dreams and goals. Call or go online to learn more.
Look who's in the mix now. The new Buster Soda Water. 0 calories, 0 sugar, 0 artificial flavors. 100% refreshing. Taste Buster Soda Water today. Buster Soda Water. Now available for only $120.
With your regional and international news tonight, I'm Svetlana Marshall in the region. Argentina libertarian economist Javier Milei took office on Sunday, warning in his maiden speech that he had no alternative to a sharp, painful fiscal shock to fix the country's worst economic crisis in decades, with inflation heading towards 200%. According to Reuters, Milei, while standing on the steps of Congress, said there is no alternative to shock adjustment, as crowds of supporters cheered despite him saying the economy would worsen in the short term. Milei, 53, a former TV specialist who shot to fame with expletive-ridden tirades against rivals China and the Pope, is taking over from Alberto Fernandez, whose government was dogged by failures to rein in soaring prices. While the speech was light on details, he said key steps would include a fiscal adjustment equivalent to 5% of the country's GDP through cuts that he said would fall on the state and not the private sector. Nearly 1,000 seals and sea lions in southern Brazil have died from bird flu outbreaks, say authorities, who are scrambling to isolate the deadly virus from commercial poultry flocks. Reuters, in a report, said the southernmost state of Rio Grande do Sul has confirmed an unprecedented 942 sea mammal deaths following infection by the highly pathogenic avian influenza HPAI, which was reported for the first time ever in the South American country this year. Since Brazil's first report of HPAI in the wild birds in May, the Agriculture Ministry says preventative measures have avoided an outbreak on commercial poultry farms, which could trigger export bans against Brazil, the world's top chicken exporter. But the virus has run rampant in other animal populations. And finally tonight, international news. A draft of a potential climate deal at the COP28 summit on Monday suggested a range of options that countries could take to reduce greenhouse gas emissions, but omitted the phase out of fossil fuels many nations have demanded. According to Reuters, the draft will set the stage for a final round of contentious negotiations in the 2-week summit in Dubai, which has laid bare deep international divisions over whether oil, gas and coal should have a place in a climate-friendly future. COP28 President Sultan Al Jaber urged the nearly 200 countries at the talks to redouble their efforts to finalize deal ahead of the scheduled close of the conference on Tuesday, saying they still have a lot to do. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres said earlier in the day a central benchmark of success for COP28 would be whether it yielded a deal to phase out fossil fuels fast enough to avert a disastrous climate change. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Svetlana Marshall reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.